get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way, if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.
Part 3 gang, y'all. Let's get it, y'all. Part 3 gang, y'all. Let's get it. Like, share, subscribe, y'all. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's go. Man, that joke was crazy, man. He said, I'm the one that's been stealing. I was like, you the one that's been stealing? What you mean you been stealing, bro? He was like, man, I ain't got nothing, Weezy, man. Man, my mama, man, don't rock with me, man. My auntie don't rock with me, man. I ain't got no brothers, no sisters, man. It's just me. I ain't got nothing, man. How I'm gonna eat? I was like, so you the one that stole dude's CD player? He was like, man, I sold that, Weezy. I was like, oh. I said, man, listen, man, you wildin', bro. I said, bro, you wildin', bro. Tim was like, that's what I told him. That's what I told him. I was like, Kick, I was like, bro, for real, bro? I said, bro, listen, if somebody find out you the one stealing, bro, I said, bro, listen, bro, it's gonna be problems, bro. I'm telling you, man. He was like, ain't nobody gonna find out unless y'all tell them. I'm like, bro, I'm not finna tell nobody nothing, bro. I was like, bro, but you tripping, bro. I said, bro, listen, this isn't juvenile, bro. This isn't a jail. I said, bro, you are in penitentiary, bro. Dudes don't play about stealing, man. He was like, man, I gotta do what I gotta do, man. I was like, bro, how you be doing this, bro? I said, because the first dude say that like his roommate was in the cell last and he came to child late and all this. I said, bro, how you doing it? Were you a magician? He was like, you know, I be working out in the pod. And I got this. That man went in his pocket. And that man pulled out the first time I ever seen somebody use this move right here, man. Now this move I'm about to tell y'all, this move became an easy move for everybody. Not for what he was using it for, but just for to jam your door. But this man, this little young kid, man, went in his pocket and pulled out a little baby magnet. Now I'm talking about like a magnet the size of something that you look like a watch battery, something that size. That's what size it was. He pulled it out and showed me. I was like, what's this? He was like, watch. Went to my door, opened my door up. He put the junk like right there, kind of like, because Lawrenceville had doors. Like they didn't have sales, like, they ain't had the slider open up like that downstairs. The doors in the front and the slider, that's how they open. But our doors to the cell, them jaws open, they'll pop it, and then you push it open. Like it was a door, you know what I mean? It had a window, and then it had a door. It didn't even have a chuck hole. They don't even have chuck holes on their doors on Lawrenceville, my word. So the door is like a real door. So when you open it, you know, like on the, you know, the part that actually closes, like that looks like a real door. It got the square, got this, it got that, you know what I mean? So like, I never mess with that, but that's where he put the magnet piece at, boom. He put the magnet piece right there, he closed the jump, boom. When he closed the jump, he was like, watch this. Now the lady in the booth, if she see your joint is jammed, like she won't open your door, like, or she'll tell you to unjam your door because she's in front of the keyboard that's showing doors that's open. So if all the doors supposed to be closed, it's gonna be one that's blinking that's showing open. So he was like, watch this. He go to the door button. He was like, he hit the joint. He was like, tell her open your door. Tell her open your door. She was like, boop. I was like, hey, Miss such and such, hey, look, open my door. I thinking she was gonna say, your door already open, White. Take that out your door. She was like, she popped that joint. I was like, oh my God. He was like, look. He stepped out. He made sure nobody was looking. He was like, he stepped out on the outside of our cell. He was like, he went in his pocket, grabbed his ID, he was like, poosh, and he come right in our joint. I was like, bro, that joint that easy, bro? He was like, yeah, I was doing it upstate. That joint super easy. Yeah, this how you ready to dough up. So the dude with the CD player, I was out there cleaning up. As soon as I seen him go to child, the junk was already in there. He said, I went to go talk to them. Put it in there nice and easy. He said, when they went to child, man, I went and got the CD player. Took the piece back out, everything was smooth. He said, the white dude in the wheelchair, he said, that was easy because it's sitting right by mine. He said, I rigged they jump up, then I went and they jump, took they jump. Man, forget that Weezy, man. I was like, I'm looking at his move and I'm like, man, this little young dude, this dude got a smart move like this. I thought about stealing, y'all, so boom. Man, I'm joking, man. I don't do no stealing, man. But still, though, man, like, young boy had a good play. You know what I mean? It was just that I don't know how long this was going to last. Like, for real, because I just didn't know how long this was going to last. Because, you know, if the wrong person find out that he's doing this or somebody has a suspicion about him doing this, they're going to take action on it. You know what I mean? I know for a fact that the dude Tim going to ride. And, you know, like, I don't know Tim good enough to be like, I'm going to get in all this. Because I haven't done nothing but look out for these guys since I've been here. So I don't really feel obligated to do anything, to be honest with y'all, man. So, like, I just was looking at this like this was going to be a bad problem. I knew it. Now, for the moment, nobody knows this, man. He's wilding. I said, bro, listen, my advice to you, bro, is throw that joint away, bro. I said, don't do that joint no more, man. Tell him, man. Tell him, like, nah, don't throw that joint away, little kid. Nah, hey, little kid, let me holler at him right quick. You good? Let me holler at Weezy right quick. I'm looking at my roommate like, he like, let me holler at him right quick. Kid was like, he about to walk out. He said, mad at me, Weezy. I said, man, get out of here, man. He was like, get out. You know what I mean, I'm looking at Tim like, yo, look, Weezy, he right, man. I ain't got no help from the street, man. So if he got an easy move like that to steal, man, forget it. We about to steal. I'm about to make him steal. I'm like, man, don't have that little dude jumping out the window doing nothing crazy. He already being crazy. I might as well just be the one doing the operating. I'm like, man, look, man, nah, bro. He like, man, look, come on, Weezy, man, you got help. We ain't got no help from the street. Let us do us, bro. Like, this penitentiary, bro, anything goes. I'm like, this is wild right here, man. I ain't, you know what I mean? I ain't feeling that jump, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I ain't feeling that jump, bro. I said, because if something of mine's come up missing, bro, I'm coming to y'all off the whip. He said, why would we steal from you? You my roommate. You think I'm gonna steal from you, Weezy? I know, man. I was like, see, bro, so ambitious now. Like I told y'all, like usually when a dude on the floor and he ain't got nothing, like they gotta make ways. You gotta make a way for you to have something. So I guess he looked at this was his way to have something, man. Sacrificing a young boy and doing all this madness, man. Like I looked at it like this was the wackest stuff ever because I don't really like being around a thief. You know what I mean? Like that's something I am not. I am not a thief. You know what I mean? And to see that this was the type of time they on, man, I had to reevaluate about being in the room with this guy, y'all. So boom. So I said, bro, listen, bro, do you, man. I ain't got nothing to do with that, man. Y'all keep me out of that. Y'all do y'all, man. I hope y'all eat good. He was like, man, we straight. He was like, when I went in his room, he was like, man, look, guess where he hid all the stuff at? I said, yeah. I said, yo, when they went in his cell and looked in his box, they ain't see that stuff. He was like, he had everything. He said, you know, he's so small. He said he had everything under the bed stacked up perfectly. He said he took all the air out the chips, everything. I said, he took the air out the chips? I said, man, what is this dude, a young genius, y'all? So boom. You see the Doogie Howser stealing in penitentiary? This man said this man took the air out the chips and put it under his bed, man. I said, yo. I said, man, it's crazy. He was like, man, little kick full up in there. Yeah, he was like, his roommate ain't gonna say nothing, man. We trying to eat, Weezy. I'm like, all right, man, I don't care, man. I don't care what you do, man. So he went about his business. So he was like, all right. So he went about his business. He shot down there. I looked, him and Lil Kick was having a conversation. You know what I mean? So after they had a conversation, like, I'll be lying to y'all if I tell y'all that wasn't bothering me. You know what I mean? It was bothering me to feel like I was involved slightly with this. But I wasn't, you know what I mean? Because these dudes, everybody in the block, know that I hang with my roommate and Lil Kick be coming around. So like I felt like I didn't want to be part of this because I already know how penitentiary is. I'm trying to get the 30 building. So that's what I did. Like that's what I was just trying to do, get back to the other side of the yard. So that's when I started pushing for it even more. Then like, yo, if I get me back to I don't care where you move me to. Just get me off this side of the yard. I don't want to stay on this side of the yard. Like I ain't finna stay around. My sonny a thief, his homeboy a thief. I ain't got time for this, man. These dudes are thieves. That's my word. I don't have time for this, man. So like, that's what I started doing, man. So it wasn't working. I was stuck. So I'm like, man, I don't know what I'm gonna do next. So it was this one dude, man, Eastern Shores, man, super dumb cool. So he was like the only other dude, you know what I mean, that I kind of talked to every blue moon. He was at 60 building the first time I came in there. Now the second time I'm in there, he's still in there, you know what I mean? The dude was cool. He was a cool dude. He don't shake Ryland Road, cool guy. So I was like, man, like, you know what I mean? Like for real, I didn't care about being on the top bunk if I had to be on the top bunk. It was just, if I got a TV, I want a bottom bunk, you know what I mean? If you don't have one. So bro was already set up. So I hollered at him. I was like, yo, look, man, when your Sully leave, because he told me his Sully was about to go to 80 building, you know what I mean? Because his Sully got a job in the gym. I was like, yo, when your Sully leave, I was like, bro, let me move in that joint. He was like, you trying to move from over there? Because his joint was my, like, he was like, you trying to move from over there? I'm like, yeah. He's like, man, I thought you liked that cell. I did. I had liked that cell, but I was like, bro, I don't want to stay over there, bro. He was like, man, what's up? So I kind of told him everything without telling him everything. You know what I mean? He was like, well, I was like, bro, I just ain't, me and my celly ain't seen, I ain't trying to take it there with him. You know what I mean? It ain't like that. So he was like, okay, all right. So he was like, we're going to make it happen then. So after we hollered at a couple people, we made it happen. You know what I mean? They called me to move. When they called me to move, Tim was looking crazy. Tim Face was looking like, you moving, Weezy? I'm like, yeah, bro. I'm like, bro, I'm not finna stay in here, bro. Y'all in this joint running Ocean's 11 out this joint, bro. Like, I ain't, no sir, bro. I ain't got time for it, bro. You're not gonna be no. You gonna have dudes running out on me. I gotta defend myself, bro. No, sir. He was like, man, ain't nobody gonna know. I'm like, man, look, bro. He was like, man, look, we got a sweet play lined up too. He said, yeah, we got a sweet play lined up too. I was like, bro, I don't wanna know about it. You know what I mean? I packed my stuff up. I shot to the next cell, y'all. So boom. That was a wrap for me and Tim, man. Like, you know, he had a good roommate, but he lost a good roommate, man. So him and Kick remain cool. Kick still in the joint, well-trusted inmate to the police. The police love him to death. You know what I mean? Every time there's a situation, they call him out to sweep, they call him out to do this. You would think this man been on the compound for years, but this ain't up but a young boy that just know how to manipulate the system, which you're supposed to do. But at the same time, though, man, like, that gave him a lot of cover as far as how the police treated him. Like, I think people looked at it like he wouldn't dare steal. But the whole time, this man was the mastermind. This man had the whole key. This man had a key to get in anybody's cell if he wanted to be petty. All he had to do was just walk up like he was cleaning your cell, touch your door, like he was talking to you, like, hey, man, look, what y'all gonna do? The whole time he putting the magnet in the jank. Then it's over with, man. So whoever this sweet lick was that they was talking about, I didn't want to have nothing to do with. But it's this one dude that's in the block. He looked like he was probably like Indian and white or something, man, because he had like the curly hair, was kind of tall, he was inked up, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what his nationality was, to be honest with y'all, man, but he used to run the parlay. Now, running the parlay in there, the only reason why he didn't get messed with that much when they came and got his stuff, because he had his stuff spread it out. You know what I mean? Then it's a dude that be holding a lot of stuff for him in the other part, but he will still have a lot of stuff, you know what I mean? So he'll still have a bunch of stuff. This basketball season, so he got a lot of stuff. So he in the joint, man, and I didn't know that this was who they was trying to line up the whole time. You know what I mean? Because his cell was the second cell on the bottom tier, across from kicking him. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking that, you know what I mean? I wasn't never thinking him, but this is a good lick because this dude keeps stuff, and he the type that got to go to every wreck, every child, and all that because he got to talk to people because he run the parlay. So this particular dude, he job be rocking with the Richmond crew. But the only reason he rocked with the Richmond crew is because the dude stuff I told you they took when he came out and started snapping, when the CEOs left and all of that, he be putting money in with dude to run the parlay. So it was like kind of on the low that him and dude was silent partners, the dude from Richmond. So like that's why like somebody like him was safe in there, the Indian dude kind of like because he was cool with our team, you know what I mean? And I think he got locked up somewhere out there too. So he was good for the most part. So nobody messing with him, man. So they call outside rec, man. Everybody go to outside rec. It's feeling good. Everybody out that joint. You know what I mean? Everybody outside. I go outside. I'm hollering at bald head. I'm out that joint. I got bald head weak. I'm telling him about the joint. I showing the young boy. He said he look like young boy from Boondocks. This word. I said, man, young boy a thief. I said, bro, he a crook, bro. I said, bro, he good, bro. I said, man, that man good, bro. Boy, yo, that's crazy. I was like, yo, bro, this word, bro, his backdoor game is extravagant, man. This Jay is extravagant, man. He was like, man, that's crazy. He probably was doing that on the street. Ain't no way he that good. So we out there tripping about it. But as I'm talking about it, the young boy, he ain't even outside. You know what I mean? He ain't outside. When I look, he came to the front slide. He's sweeping it. He got this same little joint. He's sweeping. He right there in front of the building. So that's when I'm showing bald head who he is. So he dipped back in. So after all that, bro, it's time to go back in. Shoot back to the building. We get back to the building, man. Man, we get back to the building, y'all. Everything, man. The freaking Indian dude, man. The man went from looking like his complexion was like a brown. He was like a dark brown complexion type of dude, a Hawaiian look. He went from that to like he looked like he was in the sun getting a tan. This man was looking mad and red. I promise y'all, man. That man was so angry, man. Man, I promise y'all everything. This man was so freaking angry. This man was like, he just standing in front of the door. He like, and then I see somebody come from 62 Park. He was like, hey man, somebody stole all my shit, man. Go tell such and such. I said, I need to holler at him, man. Somebody just went in my cell and stole all my shit, man. Somebody stole all. So I'm walking right past him. I'm like, oh shit. So everybody looking like, we come back in the party, you can tell something going on. I look, I see Kid kick like this. Looking like a midget bobblehead with that joint in his hand, y'all. So boom, trying to sweep his life away. That's the throw off, though. I'm like, I pay the party. I'm like, so everybody ain't come back in yet. The Richmond mob, none of them ain't come back in yet. So the dude at the door, he just snapping out. Yeah, somebody stole all my shit, man. Somebody stole all my shit. Somebody stole all my shit. So goddamn, everybody started coming back. So I walk in the joint. I see the laundry man dude. I was like, yo, what the fuck happened, bro? He was like, somebody's stealing, man. It's a real thief in this pod, man. I don't know who the fuck it is. I think I got an idea who it is, but I'm telling you, man, it's a real motherfucking thief in this pod. I was like, bro, who the fuck you think stealing, bro? Like, I had to play it off just fucking. I'm like, yo, bro, who you think stealing? He was like, I think it's that little dude, man, that little young boy, man. I was like, why the hell you say that? He was like, cuz, man, it ain't start happening till he moved in the pod. When he moved in the pod, that's when this shit started happening, man. Nobody was stealing in this motherfucker Weezy, man. I was like, damn, like, dude got a point, you know what I mean? But I'm like, on the strength, man, on the strength that this man was 20 years old, I know for a fact they'll rip him, they'll fucking rip his skin inside out if they find out it was him. I said, man, nah, I don't think it's him, man. I said, that nigga ain't trying to lose his job. He was like, but I'm just saying though, like, it ain't started happening to you. I said, nah, don't put that out there like that, man. Hell nah, man. He was like, nah, that's just my personal speculation. That's my personal speculation. So I'm like, I'm going to see it, you know what I mean? So I stay in that joint. I don't really want to know what's going on. I don't want to know what's going on. I come back into the joint, man. Dude from Eastern Shores walk in. He like, hey, look, the Richmond team out there about to make an announcement, man. I'm like, what? He was like, go out there and look. I said, what are you talking about? He said, man, they about to make an announcement. So I'm like, crazy, man. So I stop out. I see the dude from Richmond. He's standing right by the Indian dude. He right by the TV. He cut the TV off already. It was off when I walked out the cell. He said, hey, look, I'm going to tell y'all like this. Man. Whoever went in that motherfucking sale and stole all that motherfucking shit for our motherfucking parlay, God damn it, y'all gonna have to give me all that shit back, man. I'm looking at everybody's shit. I don't give a fuck. And I'm starting on the bottom tier. Motherfucker, you better have your goddamn knife ready. All that shit. The goddamn Indian dude went from looking like a motherfucker that was getting bodyguard to looking like the bodyguard, y'all. So boom. And they was standing at the TV like this. And nigga was looking like Tonto, you hear me? And they were like this. Richard dude like, yeah, I don't give a fuck. God damn it. Yeah, God damn it, I want to see your shit like the police. Cause a nigga just keeps stealing in this motherfucker, man. If you ain't steal, then you ain't got shit to worry about. Straight up. What the fuck wrong with y'all, Sean? Y'all wildin'. So I'm like, man, we on the top 10, man. I sounded like, I fuck with dude for real for the Weezy, man. I fuck with dude. I'm like, he was like, he can come search my shit. We ain't got it. I'm like, man, that shit crazy, man. I'm like, this is wild as a bitch, man. I'm like, this shit crazy, man. I looked down at my old roommate. I seen Tim. Tim walking by. He like this. He look at me. He like, you know what I mean? Keep like this. Keep playing it off. My word, they got good. They huddled up. They got strapped up. And you don't really see a lot of weapons come out like that on Lawrenceville. But when shit gets serious like this is when you're gonna see all the bullshit. You're gonna see all the bullshit, y'all. I promise y'all, man. So I'm like, damn, this shit crazy, man. So I go down the steps. You know what I mean? I see Tim. I'm like, hey, bro, look. You know, people talking about search and sale and say, he was like, man, nigga ain't coming to my shit. I said, bro, look, bro. If y'all niggas don't let them, if you don't, I was like, bro, listen. I said, man, that nigga talking about going sale to sale, bro. I said, what the fuck Kick gonna do? He was like, man, I told Kick don't let him go in and sell. He said, man, nah, bro. I said, look, bro. I said, on everything. I said, the laundromat dude know. The laundromat dude said he think it's motherfucking Kick. He was like, what the fuck you know that? I said, well, what? Nigga, I ain't telling that nigga shit. I said, the fucking put it together. This nigga, as soon as he moving apart, nigga shit start coming up missing, man. He was like, man, fuck this shit, Weezy, man. He was like, man, look, goddamn, we took all that nigga shit. He was like, look, man, I got shit in my cell. He was like, the Kid got majority of the shit, though, man. He got majority of the shit. I was like, I took everything. He was like, man, we took everything. We cleaned that nigga out. The shit was easy. We cleaned that nigga ass out. I was like, shh. Y'all niggas some psychos, man. So boom. Tim acting like he don't give a fuck, but I hope he ready for when shit like this happens. When shit hit the fan, you need to be ready, bro, because it always hits the fan. Trust and believe that, man. So Tim acting like this is nothing. Richmond dudes get together, you know what I mean? They get it together. So I guess they plotting this shit out because they gotta be smart. because the wrong move, they're gonna get fucked over now at this particular moment. That same ship is working that got dude locked up when he beat his roommate up. You know what I mean? So I guess, you know what I mean? So I guess the Richmond dude is trying to be smart. They're trying to be smart about it, what you're supposed to be, because you don't want to get tangled up if you can get away with this. You know what I mean? Because they trying to see what they're gonna do. The Indian dude looking like he don't give a fuck if the police find out or not. That's what he looking. Because when they was talking to him, they was like basically explaining to him like, "Oh look, we're gonna do this after count. When the sweet shit come on, da da da." Indian dude was like, "Fuck that. We do this shit now, man. Fuck that. Let's go now. Let's fucking go now, man. I don't give a fuck, man. Who's mad?" He was just pissed. He was super pissed. They was like, nah. They calmed him down. They calmed him down, man. I went back in the cell. I ain't even gonna lie. I was like, yo, shit crazy, man. Bro from Eastern Shore. I was like, yo, look, man. I ain't even gonna lie. This shit was right there. I had to speak to somebody with this. Like, I know y'all be like, damn, Weezy, you always tell the business. I promise you, man. Like, it was just, I knew it was about to hit the fan. I knew this shit was about to hit the fan, man. So goddamn, I'm like, yo, I don't give a fuck. I don't got nothing to do with that shit, man. I don't condone that stealing shit. I don't condone that shake, rattle, and rolling shit. If you get into some shit, I don't got nothing to do with it, man. I'm letting y'all know now. That's how I carry it. Like, I don't have nothing to do with it, period. At all. So shift change. People shift change, and people's let us out for count. You know what I mean? We got night rec, 7 o'clock rec. Ladies put us on standby. This the first time she put us on standby. Ain't nobody going nowhere when they told us to exit. Nobody, like, probably like 6 people went out. Probably like 6 people went to rec. Promise y'all. So I'm just looking. Man, you just see everybody out in the pod. You see the Richmond crew group up. 3 dudes across the hall come over and everything. First, they started going down the same side that Kick sleep in. I seen Kick standing by the front door with the broom. He's so short, he got the broom on his chin like this. He like, pause, he like. He's watching them do the bottom tee, he like. So I come down the steps, I'm like. I walk down the steps, he came over there with me, he's like, hey, Weezy. I was like, what? He said, let me put a bag in your cell when they go into the cell right here, man. He said, then when they get ready to come on the top table, you just pass it back down. I said, bro, listen, nah, I'm not doing all that, bro. I said, give it to Tim. He said, Tim already got shit in there. I said, well, look, I don't have shit to do with this. The hell is you talking about? He was like, man, no scared ass nigga. That's word he said. I was like, I started to smack the shit out of him and feed him to the Richmond niggas. My word, at the same time. That's what I was thinking. He don't even know how, that's how psycho I am. I started to smack his whole fucking toboggan off and feed him to the Richmond niggas. That's what I started to do, man. But I caught myself. I was like, this little young nigga just called me a scared ass nigga. And he the one stealing. I was like, I said, oh, youngster. I walked away. I did a baby boy on his ass, yo. So boom. What is you talking about, man? Goddamn, you stupid little young motherfucker. Watch this shit. I'm gonna get my popcorn just for that. I went right goddamn over there where the ice be at and got a good view of this shit, y'all. And I got my goddamn popcorn. I was like this. See this shit. Front row seat game, y'all. So boom. What is wrong with you, nigga? Some scared ass nigga. I'm sitting there looking like this. They on the 3rd cell now. They talking to the nigga. Nigga like, yo, I ain't got y'all shit. He was like, yo, niggas took a whole bunch of goddamn tuna fishes. Nigga, I had over 30 tuna fishes in there because you know this around the time and ain't no tobacco for a parlay man. The parlay man don't got nothing but food and hygiene. And they took all the fucking food. You know what I mean? So goddamn, they in that joint. Niggas get to the next joint. Dude, let them go in that joint. You know what I mean? Kick sale is coming up, 2 sales next. They going to the next joint. Word. They get the kick sale, kick roommate, and they come out of the joint. And they just walked out and went to the table. When I seen that, I was like, oh shit. And nigga just walked out and went to the table and sat down. The niggas came to the joint, Kick walked over there. He was like, hold on. They was like, hold on, little man. Goddamn, what's up? A dude was like, one Richard dude was like, shorty, I ain't see you go to the store since you been here, shorty. Where you get all this shit from? He was like, I had La. That's what his voice sounded like. He went back to a little kid. He was like, I had the La. They was like, he just went up in that bitch, started looking. Them niggas was like, open his box up. It was like, he was opening boxes. Hey, man, what you do? He was a smart one. He was like, he lift that nigga bed up. He was like, man, look at this shit, man. Jackpot, man. Niggas was like, oh shit, Shawty, this nigga stole everything. Kick was like, man, that's my shit, man. It was like, this your shit, what's it doing under the bed? He was like, man, put my shit up, man. He went in there to tell him put his shit up. Man, man. That's all you seen was that nigga legs in there. Boom. day that bitch got there beating his little young ass. I look, I seen Tim. Tim was standing by himself like this. He was like, he hear all that noise. He hear all that shit going on. Tim was like, nigga took his time and he walked to the steps and he was like, that nigga bad dude just was slow as a bitch. That nigga just was like, that nigga shit was slow as a bitch. He get down the steps, he was like, he finally made it over there to where the Richmond dudes was at. Nigga was like, yo, man, what the fuck? Tim was like, yo, hold on, nigga. Nigga stole on Tim ass. Boom. Tim took that punch. They was over there doing Tim ass. I was like, oh, shit. Niggas beat the living shit out Tim ass over there. I was like, what the fuck? Them niggas beating Tim ass. I'm like, damn. He was like, yo, the police coming. The police coming. Man, I promise you, the police ran in that bitch. First person, they didn't even go to Tim. Them niggas ran straight to the young nigga cell, man, and saved his young ass, man. I promise you, man. They used to love that young nigga. Man, they used to love that young nigga, man. I promise you, man. Them niggas went, saved that nigga, man. Ran that bitch, grabbed them niggas, pulled niggas up off them, man. Niggas was 229ing. More police came in. They told us to lock down. All type of shit. Niggas was like, oh, shit. Niggas still beating Tim ass. Tim down that bitch just with the ball up game. Niggas doing them dirty. Niggas beating Tim ass, y'all. That's my word. I was like, oh, shit. Goddamn, after the police got that shit situated, you got like 5 niggas at the table handcuffed. I looked up, you seen them niggas bringing out Kit. Kit was like, he was like, come on, man, get him to medical, man. He was like, that nigga was so little. He was like, lift him up, them niggas like this. I looked out the window, them niggas was walking that nigga to medical like this. Little ass goddamn thief, y'all, so boom. But he was gone, though. They got him out of there, man. Tim took that ass with him. They got him out of there. They got the Richmond dudes out of there. The Indian dude went to the hole, man. Everybody fell on that shit. But you know what, though? They found out who the fucking thief was, man. The young nigga, man, that nigga was a beast with that shit, man. Like, after he did that shit, I promise y'all, I started using that shit over there, the magnet shit, just to jam my door from time to time. And next thing you know, by the time I made it back to the other side of the yard, everybody was using that shit, man. The magnet game was being used. If you don't want to use a magnet, you can use a domino. A domino would do it too. One domino, because I told y'all the little hole in the door, you know, like when you close it, that little junk right there on the side, like that little one part, the domino fit perfectly in that junk. And that junk jammed your door without the computer seeing it, man. So it's like, that shit was a start of a fucking maniac situation that the young boy started, man. But at the end of the day, I think Kick felt like he couldn't come back on the yard. I felt like he couldn't come back on the yard, man, because like, that was a lot right there. That was a lot right there for him to get labeled as a thief the way he was stealing, man. So he never came back out. He never came back out, man. I heard he went to a level 2. He took his talents to a level 2. He probably was stealing even more. Now, as far as Tim, I seen Tim when I went to 40 building. Tim was in 43 pod. I went to 41 pod. Now, when I went to 41 pod and I seen Tim, it was crazy. It was a crazy situation when I seen Tim, man, because I didn't know how he felt about me watching him get his ass whooped. But like, I didn't give a fuck how he felt, to be honest with you. But when he saw me, he was like, man, I should have listened to you, Weezy, man, because I don't do no stealing, man. That shit crazy, man. He was like, nah, I took an ass whooping. Oh, I said, bro, I knew that was going to happen. Bro. I knew y'all was going to get your ass whooped, bro. Nigga ain't getting away with that shit. I said, bro, the laundry man already had y'all a suspect of the whole shit. So I said, God knows who he told. You know what I mean? He was like, man, that's your word. You ain't tell nobody, Weezy. I said, bro, I said something to my roommate that same day that shit was happening, bro. When that shit, all that shit was happening, like that shit was, they was at the nigga's sale, all type of shit, bro. I said, other than that, I ain't had nothing to do with that shit, bro. He was like, man, that shit crazy, man. He said, kick ass to a level 2, man. It's dumb ass, man. He was like, that's my fault, though, Weezy, man. He got me up. You know what I mean? From that day forward, me and him was just cordial. Like, we weren't cool, nothing like that. We was just cordial, man. But stealing is never the thing to do in penitentiary, y'all. It can get very dangerous in there, and you could lose your life. You could lose your life, man. So if you're watching this, man, you end up going to prison, man. Stealing is not the thing to do. So stay your ass out of the way. Period. But that was a crazy situation. But that's the end of the damn story, though. Man, I appreciate y'all for watching. Another one, man. Y'all know the count, man. I got stories for days. I got them for weeks, for months, for years. My clip on the story game, that should say infinity on the clip. I got a bunch of stories, man. But look, man, the main thing is, man, I need y'all to stay out the way out here with y'all family, man. They need y'all, man. I'm telling you, man. They need you out here, man. Don't put them in a predicament where they got to take care of you when you're supposed to be taking care of them, man. So just stay out the way and do what you're supposed to do, y'all. Period. period. But y'all already know what this is, man. This was the Thursday Banger Game. So what did y'all do this one? Like, share, subscribe, this one, y'all. Let's get it. Let's go. But safe out there, y'all. And stay your ass out of the way.
Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.